Welcome back. Come November, how will Arkansas vote on major issues before voters this time around? A lot of people are talking about some of these. New Capitol View host Roby Brock joining us in the studio, and longtime friend. Roby, great to see you.
Good to be with you, Bob.
Great to have you here back at KARK and manning the wheelhouse for Capitol View. I know
super excited about it.
Get a lot of stuff out there. Big topics. We got two that we want to talk about. First, what are you seeing as far as medical marijuana?
Recreational marijuana. We've already got the medical stuff there. That's right.
Recreational marijuana. You got your finger on the pulse. What are people saying?
So, latest Talk Business and Politics Hendrix College poll. If the election were today, and if it stays on the ballot, the Supreme Court of Arkansas is considering this case. It may not be on the ballot. 58.5% would vote for it today to 29% against. That's a 2-to-1 margin, and we see some really.
Does that surprise you?
It doesn't, because we've been looking at this in recent months, and it was at 53% back in February when we pulled it. So it's a little bit higher now, no pun intended, but you know it's come up a little bit in the numbers there. And there's some interesting things when you look at age and party ID on this. So younger voters clearly are more supportive of this. Older voters are not, but we still see strong numbers among older voters. And among party ID, Republicans tend to be a little bit more against this. Democrats much more in favor of this, but independents 57% in this poll, and that's the swing.
It's going to be interesting to watch this also, and of course the Supreme Court decision on whether or not it's going to be effective.
I think we may know as early as next week whether or not it's going to be on. I think they got to make a decision soon.
We'll keep an eye on that. The next one, abortion in the state of Arkansas.
This has been a big issue nationally for a lot of folks, and so we wanted to test it here in Arkansas again. We asked if people support the current abortion restrictions. Arkansas has a very strict law on that. Only exception is for the life of the mother.
And this is support current law the way it stands.
43% said that they would be in favor of keeping it as it is. 50.5% said it should be changed. So we asked that 50.5%, do you think it should be easier to get an abortion? Should it be harder to get an abortion? 92% said they think it should be easier to get an abortion. Now that could be anything from just, exceptions for rape and incest to full-fledged you shouldn't have any restrictions on an abortion.
Pretty interesting numbers there.
It is. And again, we see a lot of diversity. Women versus men. Women much more in favor of this, as you might expect. Again, we see some partisanship in this and the results of this. Arkansas is a very conservative state when it comes to the issue of abortion.
Yeah, which these numbers are kind of surprising.
It's surprising in that respect. 50%, a little bit more than the majority, think that the law should be changed. That's pretty different from what we traditionally see in this number.
And I think if these numbers are raising eyebrows, what do you think legislators think about this? They take a look at this?
I don't know if they'll take a look at it or not. You know, sometimes they do what they want to do and what their beliefs are, particularly on an issue like this. But there may be some that listen and think through. If you talk to some of those legislators privately, they'll tell you there needs to be a few more exceptions in the rule.
Interesting stuff and great insight. And your insight you're bringing back to Capitol View. I want to welcome you aboard again.
I'm excited about doing that. Thanks for keeping the seat warm for several months or years, I guess.
I did what I could. But we're super excited to have you back, Roby. And as mentioned, I know the viewers and also the business community and the political community will be well served with you in the wheelhouse of Capitol View. Thanks.
We're going to roll out a lot of poll numbers on Sunday morning. Governor, Attorney General, and U.S. Senate.
All right, you're already bringing it.
I'm ready.
Already bringing the game, Roby. Thanks very much.